Hey everybody, this is Sarah Harnish. I'm a Young Living Diamond and I'm the author of Unstuck, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. And this is day 8 of Unstuck Boot Camp. And you guys are doing a great job that you've held out this long. I know some of you are just barely keeping up with the videos, and I want you to know you're doing amazing. This is the most intense training. Nobody else has a 500-page book that you're trying to work through. So give yourself a little bit of grace. And if you got to go back and pick some of it up later, it's totally okay. You're doing fantastic. Tonight's a really important training because we're going to talk about how to teach an in-person 101 class and how I do that with success, how I funnel that to kit sales, and what are the steps I actually do to pull that off. So it's a very important training. Matter of fact, it's so important we might be breaking into 2 nights. I'm going to watch and see how my time goes tonight. But first, I just want to say thank you to those of you that have really generously gone on Amazon and left me reviews. It really means a lot to an author because that is how people determine whether or not they're going to buy the book. Game Plan had 1,200 5-star reviews. We're at 100 right now, and we just started boot camp on Unstuck, and it really is good for authors. So my favorite one came in today from EKG Posse 2, who said, "Best book by Sarah so far." That's not the first time I've heard that. People are liking Unstuck better than Game Plan because it gives you skills that you have to know to be able to do the business. You can understand overall business strategy, but if you don't have skills training, you're in trouble. And she says, "I'm currently in the boot camp, very energizing and positive model for the business." Sharon says, "Inspirational. The book covered every aspect of building a vibrant Young Living business. I could feel her passion and conviction with every word. So many business building ideas, no matter what your style. Such a labor of love for the Young Living community." So thank you guys. Those words really mean a lot to me. I go back and I look at all of them and see how I can do better for you, how we can generate better tools and better free tools and make it easier for you to be able to rank up. I told my team today we have 3 platinums on my team and 11 golds and 61 silvers and hundreds of executives. And I said, listen, my goal is that we have 100 diamonds. Like, I want to get to 100 diamonds. So I said, who is running with me and going to get to 100 diamonds? And the team just went crazy. So, and it's the same thing for you. I want 100 diamonds for your team too. And I want you to get to a place of freedom. So it's going to be a great night of training. Let's jump right in this evening. I've got some really cool things to show you guys. Our oils of the night. If you feel I'm moving fast tonight, I am, because this is the biggest chapter in the entire book. So I really want to stay focused and just kind of get through tonight. So I picked an oil this evening to teach with. And then my husband said, "Oh, no. You need to use this oil." If you're talking 101 classes, you need this oil. So I actually have a 101 oil for myself, and then I have a 101 oil for my husband for when I'm teaching 101 classes, all right? I'm an extrovert. He's an introvert, so you're going to get both sides of the training tonight. You get the oil for the introverts and the oil for the extroverts. The extrovert oil is present time because we tend to squirrel and go off and do things and rabbit trail and maybe not stick with what we should be doing and watching time and being respectful of people and all of that. So this is just a wonderful oil for me. It's part of my ADHD protocol. There's a lot of things that I do. Not consuming sugar is a huge thing. Drinking Ningxia helps keep my blood sugar levels in really good places and just support my body, my whole system. But present time is wonderful for when I'm like squirrel and off doing all the things. It's a wonderful oil for that. Young Living says, when diffused, present time helps you focus on the here and now so you can get past the past and move forward. So if you really have a hard time sticking to time in your classes, or you're just not giving the information they need, or you forget to get to your close, or you're not touching base with people, like that's just a wonderful oil for teaching. If you're in sheer terror when you have to teach your classes, then maybe Stress Away or Peace and Calming is a better fit for you, or Valor as well. Gathering is the oil that my husband picked for tonight. That's the introvert oil. That's the oil for the people that really don't like being in front of people, that don't like people in their house, and it super freaks them out. It's wonderful. It's a blend of aromas that invites you to overcome the chaotic energy of everyday life. When Young Living uses the word chaotic and they're describing words for the oil, you know that it's a good oil if you're going to be teaching classes and you are an introvert, right? So it helps you overcome that a chaotic energy of everyday life, and it keeps you on the path to higher achievement. So it just keeps you focused, right? Cindy says, I'm an introvert here, solid green personality, so it's really hard to take the first step to do a class. You know what, Cindy? I would recommend that you start with somebody you're comfortable with. So teach a class in front of your mama, or teach a class in front of your best friend. Start with that like circle of one, get gathering in your diffuser, put Valor all over your body. And most of the time, really, truly, it's just getting over that first hump. Like when you get through that first class, you're like, okay, that was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think I could do another one. And then maybe you ask your friend to come back and you teach another class with them and one of their friends. So that it's not 20 people in a room you don't know, but you're just kind of starting from that place. And you might be able to get to a place where you can teach to a room of 5 because you've taught the class 100 times. And now you're just falling back on your training and it's not so scary anymore. And maybe you never get to that place. Maybe it is one person at a time, over coffee, over cocoa, one relationship at a time, and that's okay too. Because if that's your pace of the building the business, but you still have passion with that person and you're still meeting their needs, it's not necessarily their pace of building the business. So you keep your chin up and don't let anybody tell you because you're green that you can't build, because more than half of my upper leadership is green personalities at the very, very, very top of my of our organization. So you can very, very, very easily build a business if you're a green personality. Don't let all those barriers get in front of you. The only barriers that are in front of you are the ones that you decide you will let stop you. Right? Because everybody's got barriers. Even extroverts have barriers. Everybody's got something that holds them back. Everybody's got some ism with their family, with their stress, with their job, with their parents, with their kids, with their finances, something in their past, something they've had to work through, walls they've had to tear down. I've never met a person ever yet where I sat down and they're like, oh yeah, this is easy. I had no problem getting to Royal Crown Diamond. It was a piece of pie and I have no history and nothing's ever happened to me. I've never heard that story yet in Young Living. Like everybody has something that is tying their arms down and tying their legs down. You just decide how far you're going to let that hold you down, right? You're the one that determines how long that's going to hold you back. All right. So tonight's training is pretty legit. We're going to train on Chapter 20, which is Methods of Teaching, and Chapter 21, which is the 101 class. And I'm anticipating I'm going to have to cut it off in the middle of 21 for time, and then we'll finish that up the next tomorrow night. But it is the longest chapter in the entire book. The only chapter that is almost as long as this one is when we do a really, really deep training on essential rewards. That's over 30-page chapter as well, because those are really important. Like they're just very, very important topics. So I went through and thought of every question I have seen. There's almost 70,000 people on this page. So when you guys have asked me questions in Game Plan Roundtable, and when my team of 10,000 has asked me questions, and when I've sat in on my leaders and they've had certain stumbling blocks in their classes, I compiled all of that stuff and tried to answer all of it in these chapters on how to have successful 101 classes and how to have successful essential rewards numbers. If you're over 30%, you get a B in Young Living, 30% on essential rewards. If you're over 40%, you get an A. And if you're over 50%, you're a rock star and you need to be doing these trainings and teaching me how to do this, because over 50%, especially with a diamond-sized team, is just absolutely phenomenal numbers. Those are wonderful. I don't know too many people that have numbers that high in Young Living, especially when your team gets that large. But all right. So let's jump right into methods of teaching. We're now into the meat of this book. So I'm on page 122 if you've got the full book. This is a third of the book. I spent a third of the book doing mindset training to get your head out of the gutter and get you to a place where you're like, okay, all right, I think I know what I need to do. First off, I need to stop the negative self-talk. I need to stop the sarcasm. I need to stop the negativity. I need to stop the complaining. I need to stop the excuses. I need to stop all the things going on in my head. And I just need to start doing actions that are actually going to grow my business, because sitting here for 2 years not teaching obviously is not working, right? That's not the thing that's going to grow my business. So instead, let me focus on things that actually will grow my business. And tonight, the stuff we're going to train you on is meat and potatoes when it comes to network marketing. This is the action that will get you a rank up, okay? It's the action that will get you a rank up. You can learn follow-up, and you will keep your team by doing that. And you keep it very simple, and you're going to find leaders by doing that. But if you can't do this one thing, if you cannot teach classes, there is no rank up. You will sit there at Star forever. You'll sit there at Senior Star forever if you sign 2 people and they take off and then they just sit there and, you can't actually build your own organization without teaching classes, all right? Becky says, today I can't believe I didn't start talking with the lady at the post office. She meets and knows so many people. I got to remember to go back and start a relationship. Why did I forget? See, now you guys are looking for all the relationships that you can build. I did the same thing with the gymnastics tonight that I took my son to. I met a lady who's an amazing son named Ben. And he's the same age as my son, and she's got 3 kids, and we just hit it off right away. I'm thinking this one would be wonderful on my team. So a little bit more here on Unstuck. Unstuck has never been written before, to my knowledge, and I've read a lot of network marketing books. I have never seen a book quite like this one. It's completely new. And so with this book, we're trying a different approach. If your OGV is stagnant, you're going to play until you find your gifts. Especially if your OGV is, most of it is your own personal order. So you haven't actually had success building the business yet. If you have had success building the business, then you know exactly what you need to do. You need to go back and do what you did the first time that got you kits, right? Whatever that way was, that's the way that you should be sharing. That if you really haven't built your business significantly, so say you're Star, Senior Star, you sign a couple friends and family members, you feel like your warm market's dried up, you've asked everybody, your mom's dropped her order to 50 PV and doesn't even want to spend that, then I'm speaking to you, okay? We're going to be playing with different kinds of classes over the next week here to help you find your way of sharing. So I'm going to lay out the most common types of classes, and this is after speaking with many diamonds on the way that they built their organizations over the past 2 years and collecting research and data on classes that actually work. I told you for this book it was over 8,000 interviews that I did of compiled data from start to finish on all the different topics, but particularly on when they had a kit sale, what were the actions that they did that led to the kit sale. So here's my advice. I want you to try one type of class several times. And if you have a kit sale and it works for you, even if the pace feels slow, then you just keep going. Okay, you keep going with that. If it does not lead to any kits, after 2 or 3 times, then I want you to try another class method. So if you try 3 or more class methods, so say you do vendor events and you do in-person 101 classes and you do Facebook classes, okay, you do more than one and you're not seeing results at any of those types of classes. The only classes that I wrote about were people that had built all the way to platinum or diamond or above using that method only. So these are tried and true methods. I know that they work, but if you're not seeing results with it, I want you to drop everything and focus on one person and just building relationships with oils. If you don't know anyone, then you try one of the 4 mojo methods at the start of the book. So purple bags or vendor events. You're going to try something so that you can try to meet people. You do actually know people. You just tell yourself you don't know people because you've crossed them all off the list, right? If that still gets you nowhere, even after that, you can't do anything with vendor events and 3 of the classes don't work for you and you don't have any kit sales at all, then I want you to do a month working on you. Only you. So do personal development training until you've built up enough confidence and you've trained your tongue against negativity. And then I want you to play with the products and gather stories in your mind and then go back to square one again and try one type of class all over again once your head is out of the gutter. So do you have all that? There's actually a system to this book to trying to figure out your way of sharing. So step 1, you're going to try one type of class several times. I would say at least 4 to 6 times, but definitely at least 3. If you have kit sales, then that's your way of sharing. I just want you to stick with that way. Stop grasses greenering it on the other side and jumping, going and writing blogs and doing all sorts of stuff. You have results and you stay with that way until you get to diamond, all right? If you have kit sales, that's your way of sharing. You rinse and repeat to diamond and you skip all the other steps below. Step 2. If you have no kit sales during step 1, try another class style from the 15 types of classes we're going to cover over the next week. Step 3, if you try 3 or more methods and you still have no kit sales, I want you to focus on one-on-ones. So meeting one person in a coffee shop, one person in your living room, one person at a time, or try the 4 mojo methods to try to build your confidence up. Step 4, if you still have no results doing any of those things, all right, none of them, then I want you to spend a month working on you. if everything fails you. I want you to do personal development training until you built up your confidence. Consider an emotional release session, a vibrational raindrop session, neuroauricular technique session. At the very least, order the feelings kit and just start diffusing those oils one at a time, not missing a day or so for 30 days. I want you to put them on the back of your neck, get the whole kit on your brain stem, get it over your heart every single day, morning and night for 30 days, and you get on your knees and you war and you pray and you give your business to the Lord and you ask for protection against a spirit of negativity because that spirit is keeping you from freedom. You can do this. And then step 5, you go back to square one after that month of personal development and you do it all over again. And you keep doing the steps over and over and over again until you get that one kit sale. You don't jump ship once you find something that works and try something new. You stick with the same class type until you hit diamond. Even if it's 288 101 classes, even if it's 400 101 classes to get to royal, just because you have given the lecture doesn't mean that the people in your class have been exposed to the lecture. It doesn't need to be new to you to be new to them. So rinse and repeat it to freedom. All right? So you got to hear me on this, guys. When you are new, when you find something that works in network marketing, the secret to the rank is just to keep on doing it. In everything else in life, you're told to keep growing and keep pursuing and to change up your game and all that, but not in this. In network marketing, you need to have a system. And your system is to find what works and then use it to get you to diamond. That's how you do that, all right? Of all the diamonds that I interviewed, not a single diamond said that they had success at one method, jumped ship, tried to learn a totally new skill over and over and over again. All of them pursued education and they pursued personal development, but that's not the same thing as changing a strategy that works. Their stories were all the same. I taught a lot of classes and then I ranked up. I went to a lot of vendor events and then I ranked up. I posted on social media 5 times a day for 3 years and then I ranked up. There was a system in place that yielded results. So do you know what happens when you stop doing the things that got you the rank? You lose the rank. Right, you're going to lose the rank. I see it with leaders all the time. They hustle, they sign kits, but then they rank and they slip into leadership mode and they start focusing on training their team only. And then one leg dips below the volume that they need and then they lose rank. And rank loss has become such a problem that Young Living now recognizes diamonds in the monthly Essential Edge newsletter only in the months that they maintain their ranks. And only half of us maintain it. There's 450 diamonds and only half of us are holding rank every single month. So that tells you, hey, it's so important that you're out there doing the things that you did that grew your business to where it is in the very first place, all right? So, quick review of those 5 steps, and we're going to move on to how to teach an in-person class. Step 1, there's 15 types of classes we're going to be covering over the next week and a half. So, if one really hits you in the gut and you're like, hey, I think I could do this. I didn't just randomly pull things off the internet. There are diamonds and crown diamonds and royal crown diamonds and platinums behind every single one of these classes that built successfully with this method. So whether I'm training on textable classes or I'm training on DVD classes or I'm training on personal loan classes or whatever it is, there are stories behind it where people rank. So these are tried and true methods. And I'm going to tell you at the end of the things that don't work, where people have not seen success so that you don't get caught in one of those nets. But step 1 is to try one type of class several times. And if you have kit sales, it's your way of sharing. Rinse and repeat, right? Step 2, if you have no kit sales, try another class style from the 15 types of classes. Step 3, if you try 3 different class styles and you still have no kit sales, I want you to focus on one-on-ones where you just grab one person, one relationship. Remember to go for that sale of one to get you to a place where you're like, I'm a superstar, right? Or one of the 4 mojo methods or all the 4 mojo methods, you try that for a while. To build your confidence, because you really just need one kit sale and then you're like, okay, all right, I'm good now. I'm good. Step 4, if all of that fails you, all right, all of that fails you and you're still not moving, I want you to spend a month working on you. And I gave you a breakdown of exactly what that looks like. That means oiling, that means personal development, that means getting your head in the right place, it means all the things. And so look into some of those things. And then step 5, go back to square one after you've done 30 days of that and try it again. Right, try it again. All the different types of classes, I'm not going to read them to save time right now because there's 15 of them, but you can either look in the table of contents in Unstuck, or you can go to the Unstuck page, which is on my website at oilabilityteam.com. Just click on Unstuck, and you'll see the table of contents there, and you can check all the classes out there. All right? So here's the best piece of advice in this whole book, and I swear it to you, if this is the only thing that you highlight in the book. This paragraph needs to be in bright yellow with arrows drawn all around it so you never, ever, ever, ever lose it. When you're picking the type of class that you want to teach, look at what you've already done to be successful. If you're a star, how did you sell those 4 kits to start with? Was it a textable class? Was it a vendor event? What were you doing, right? However you made your first, second, third, 50th, or 150th kit sale, that's your way of sharing. So don't try blogging if you've never used WordPress before. Don't try make and takes if you hate creativity but somebody else had success with it. You've got to look into that deep part of yourself and find what works based on your unique set of talents. What are you good at? Do you like social media? Consider Instagram. Do you like events? Consider vendor events. Are you terrified of face-to-face contact, but you can whip out a text in no time flat? Then try textable classes or DVD teaching or maybe Instagram classes. What are your gifts? What's your way of sharing? If you haven't had a kit sale yet, 70% of distributors build with in-person classes. That's class style 1. So start there. 70%, 7 in 10 people that are successful, 7 in 10 diamonds, 7 in 10 platinums, all right, built with in-person classes, whether it's 10 people in a class, 1 person in a class, 50 people in a class, sitting down on a couch, sharing from their heart. We tend to avoid that type of class because we either want fast growth, we think that building another way is quicker, and so we feel like that way is going to be slow, or we see other people's success in different methods, or we really just don't want to look people in the face, honestly. It can be just as tedious, though, using another method to build your team. Other success does not necessarily mean that you're going to have success at that type of class. So sitting in front of somebody is one of the fastest way to fill their needs and to build relationships. It's a lot harder for them to avoid you and not answer you when you're 3 feet from their face. So if you need a starting place, I would say start with class type 1, which is why we're going to spend so much time going through it. If you need to know your niche and you're frustrated, then I want you to go take a hard look at the kit sales you've already had and rinse and repeat that method, right? So let's move on. Aside from the style of class that you choose, there's 3 things that grow your business. And you know this: teaching classes, getting people on essential rewards, and training your leaders. Now, if all your time is spent training your leaders, you're not teaching and you're not getting people on ER. And if you're not teaching, bye-bye rank. So it's just a matter of time before your volume just drops and drops and drops and drops. Even diamonds have to teach. They don't have to hustle as hard, but that's also a danger zone because they can lose their rank if their hustle slows to a crawl. Right? They absolutely can. So can I just challenge you to take an honest self-assessment of how you're spending your time? This is one of your workbook assignments today because I really want you to evaluate your clock and where you're putting your really precious time, which is one of the most precious things you have in this business. I want you to make a quick pie chart. If you don't have the workbook, just grab a piece of paper and do it, but we lay it out in the workbook pretty well. For a week, every time you do something work-related, jot it down. And then I want you to look at the minutes spent and plot it out just once. So how much time do you spend prospecting? Bringing new people in, talking to the person at the post office, making those relationships, talking to the person at the gymnastics office. If the answer is less than 80%, then you're upside down in your business. And that's why people aren't coming to classes. So if I could give you just one tip and you'd follow just one thing from this book, I would tell you to fill your calendar with 4 to 6 classes a month. 4 to 6 classes a month. Make sure you have clocked your 7 to 15 conversations per person and you've taken the time to build the relationships so that those classes aren't empty. If you haven't laid the foundation and show them why they need oils, they're not going to show up to your class. Okay, they're not going to be there because you haven't laid that foundation and they don't know why they need it, so they have no reason to come to your class. Empty classes are a waste of your time and your talent. So if the relationship work isn't done ahead of time, you're going to be speaking to an empty room. That's how you end no-show classes. That schedule of at least 1 class a week is how my upper leaders went silver in 6 months. Just about all of them did. If you do 2 a week, you're going to rank faster. But you'll see so much fruit with it, and your mojo is going to skyrocket. Don't bite off more than you can chew, but if you look at your calendar and your planner and the squares are empty, I can pretty much say with certainty that it's not going to be a rank up month. But if you put action to your goals and you teach, then that's the number 1 way to blow up your OGV. Teaching is the only way to find your leaders. If you're frustrated you don't have leaders, you just haven't taught enough classes to find them yet. Teaching is the only way to get people on essential rewards, right? Educating is the only way. Only way. So that's how you build your ER base. If there's no people, there's no business. That's the starting place. We tend to overcomplicate things, right? We really, really do. But you spend months doing network marketing training and reading all there is on this style of entrepreneurship. Just grab the script. Just grab the script and get 3 people on your couch and just read it. You're going to be blown away by how easy it is to grow this thing with that simple action. And I'm not saying don't drop $1,000 on a network marketing training ticket and get on an airplane and drop another $500 on a plane ticket and go to a hotel and spend 3 days in a hotel and drop $100 on food. And I'm not saying don't do that, but I am saying that all those skills that you're learning, you just got to print the script off in the back of the book and sit on a couch with somebody and read it. Like that's as hard as this gets, all right? It really, truly is as hard. I built to diamond that way, and I'm almost a crown diamond that way, just by sitting on a couch and loving on human beings, being where they are. Keep it simple, all right? Keep it simple. So, all right, last thing on this chapter, and then we're going to jump into our other chapter, and I'll get as far as I can until I have to stop, all right? So the months that you don't teach, guys, you're in a holding pattern. You're just holding your business in your hand. You're not actually growing your business. You're going to be blown away by how easy it is to increase your OGV just with that simple action of share, 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 share. The months that you get out there, you're going to watch your volume grow. And when you feel frustrated and you feel stuck, it's from a lack of teaching. And when you can't find leaders, it's because you haven't taught the classes yet to find the leaders. And when you're starting over at 0 again, every single month, your OGV 0, 0, 0, it's because you didn't train the lifestyle. So everything we do in Young Living goes back to teaching. Teaching equals direct income growth. You're going to have growth months and you're going to have hustle months, but there should never be backsliding months unless it's after something unusual like a Black Friday sale. Okay, if it's a trend for you to have backsliding months or holding months, then you have stopped the simple act of sharing oils. And your leaders have stopped the simple act of sharing oils too. All right, you got to get back to the basics to be able to grow your OGV and to be able to go hit the next rank. If you're frustrated with the pace that you're growing, the secret is in your calendar. It's as simple as that. It took 2.5 years for me from the purchase of my starter kit to diamond. I did not reinvent the wheel every single time that I taught. I didn't give the class really cool names. I didn't integrate make and take supplies. I didn't spend hours printing all sorts of really pretty labels. I didn't teach on different topics. I literally just kept doing the same thing that got me results from the very first class. I showed you guys my inside of my VO in the beginning of my business, right at the beginning of this boot camp. So go back and watch some of the other videos to see that. But I showed you, we went from 6 people on the team to 27 to over 60 to 120 in 12 weeks. Just bing, bang, bang, bang. Why? I taught a 101 and then a 101 and then a 101. I didn't call it the really cool, not going to put 101 in the title class, right? It's just a 101 class. I got people in it because Sandy's kid had a cough, and I got Bobby in it because Bobby had a backache, and I got so-and-so in it because their family was fighting the flu and they needed to know what remedies they could do alongside their other protocols that they were doing. And so, I met their needs, got them into the class, and I read the same script like hundreds of times, exact same script. So you don't need cool titles, you need new people. That's what you need. You get new people by building relationships with them. So if it sounds overly simple, it was. A 3-page script built a diamond income for my family. A 3-page script. So I regularly hear from people, nobody's coming to 101 classes anymore. I need fresh ideas to get them in seats. Guys, I have seen so many diffuser bracelet classes out there, succulent plant classes out there. The big craze right now is Valentine's Day gift classes and all sorts of stuff. But guess what? You got to buy the tools to do those classes, and that costs money. And classes that cost money scare away leaders because they can't duplicate the cost of the supplies. So if you want to rank, keep it simple. The issue is not the title of your class. It's not the cool ways you come up with showing off the starter kit oils. They don't need a bracelet class to get cough relief. They need to know that you have a solution to their problem. So be the solution finder, and you will have full classes without plants, without beads, without pretty stickers, without cool titles. You will pick up leaders that see how simple you keep it, which is even more important because then your OGV is going to grow faster because they can copy everything. Right? They can copy everything you're doing. So am I saying all that stuff is inherently evil? No, it's really not. I mean, I look at the creativity in Young Living is just absolutely unbelievable. But when I ask people who are sitting down designing all that stuff, and I ask them, hey, how much has your OGV grown with that? They're like, oh, I've been holding my OGV for a year. I'm like, okay, well then why are you doing all this? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. If it's not getting results, then you need to switch what you're doing, right? How did you build the OGV you already have? Oh, I taught classes. I was like, okay, then why are you doing a succulent class? Because nobody's going to buy the oil, or they need 5 drops of an oil one time to put in the plant, and you just spent $100 on materials. So how does that lead to a starter kit? How does that lead to a wholesale membership? How does that lead to essential rewards? If somebody comes and puts oils on a plant, how does that lead to them understanding the lifestyle and getting on ER? They're like, well, it's fellowship, it's fun, it's building the relationship. I'm like, shoo, man, I could do that over a cup of coffee or a cup of cocoa and save myself $100 in supplies just by texting them and asking them how they're doing, right? So I don't know, guys. I'm a busy mom. I got a lot on my plate. I've got 5 kids. I've got 2 grandkids. I got a dog. I got 2 houses I'm selling. I'm running this boot camp. I'm pushing for Crown. I got all these things going on. And I'm assuming that your guys' lives are pretty crazy also. So you don't have a lot of time. So you can put your time into things like that, or you can put your time into things that are actually going to grow your OGV, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm the bad diamond for saying that stuff out loud, but I just feel like if it's not getting you results, then why do it, right? Why do it? Just meet people's needs. Meet them where they are, love on them, find out what their needs are, meet them in that space, and they will come to your class, right? You don't have to go take graphic design classes to learn how to make really pretty labels. You just need to be the need meter, right? Okay, so if I'm being straight with you guys, I didn't build terribly fast. I mean, my business was built brick by brick, piece by piece over a period of years. And I had a lot of no-show classes because of poor relationship building. I mean, I don't know, I made 10,000 mistakes, probably more than that, because I just wrote a 500-page book on Unstuck on all my mistakes, and game plan was 350 pages, and those were all my mistakes. So I got 850 pages of my mistakes compiled so far, right? My goal with this project is to shave down the time that it takes you to be able to get to Diamond. Guys, those are rabbit trails, okay? They're rabbit trails. So I want you to get there faster than I did. Right? And you get there faster than I did by hearing somebody coughing in church and going up to him and giving a thieves cough drop, right? Not by inviting him to a diffuser bracelet class where you put peace and calming on and maybe they order 1 bottle of oil and don't get a wholesale membership. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe that's going to tick off a lot of people and they'll leave the boot camp. But I just feel that you're in a labyrinth and that's a dead end, right? It's not going to grow your business. The class structure where I flourished most, and it is not the only way to build. Please hear my heart here. I gave you 15 different types of classes. So I'm not saying my way is the only way. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is the simpler you keep it, the easier it is for your leaders to copy. All right? So keep it simple so that you can find your leaders. If you're having a hard time finding business builders, then maybe you're overcomplicating things. You're dropping $200 on food at every single one of your classes, right? Don't do that kind of stuff because people can't copy that. I couldn't copy that. That was my 2-week budget for food. I can't duplicate that in a class. So the class structure that I flourished in most was in-person classes. Sometimes 1 or 2 people, sometimes 10 people, sometimes I had 40 people. Those classes were pretty rare. Most of my classes were 10 people or less. Of those 10 people, typically at least half. I'm just giving you straight stats right out of my virtual office and being totally real and honest with you guys about my personal growth in my business and how I built to Diamond. I would say most of my classes were 10 people or less. And of those 10 people, usually about 50% of them got a starter kit. Some of them got it the night of. Most of them got it in the couple of weeks after I had the class. So those are my stats. If you do the math, that does not mean starter kit to Diamond in 12 months. However, with repetition and with consistency, it does equal freedom. It does if you're consistent. So if your pace is an area that just hits you really hard mentally, don't close this book before you read the chapter on expectations, because it's going to be so good for your heart to read exactly what people are doing and what the real numbers are out there of people ranking up and how quickly that happens. So I'm going to lay some benchmarks out that will put your mind at ease on how efficient you think you are and erase some negative programming on the speed of this business when we get to that chapter, all right? The most common type of class is just sitting on a couch and sharing, all right? And so that's the place that I'm going to begin. I do want to tell you that I don't have anything against specialty classes, oils of the Bible, oils and emotions, but I would like you to keep them a 1-to-3 ratio. So you teach one 101 class or 3 101 classes for every one specialty class. And I only invite them to the specialty class if they've already had the core 4 classes. I want to keep them engaged on the center of our product line. Why? Because that's what leads to kit sales. If you're training on inner child and release oil, that doesn't lead to a starter kit. So you got to start with one of the core 4 starter kits so you can funnel to a wholesale membership, and that's going to get them 24% off their oils for life. Then teach the specialty class when they need ideas for essential rewards. 80% of your time has to be spent prospecting. So that means if you're not funneling all of the attention to the premium starter kit with the oils, the Thieves starter kit, the Ningxia starter kit, or the Savvy Minerals starter kit, you're going to end up with a retail customer that does not get the perks and does not reorder. Don't focus on one oil. Don't even offer retail. I never even offer retail as an option. I always funnel to the wholesale memberships because that's what leads to longevity, right? They can't learn oils with one bottle of oil. Oils are a lifestyle. Oils are not a one-hit wonder. So 12 bottles are the training ground. And if you feel like you're selling them a kit they can't afford, instead of offering them a single oil, just consider this. When you walk into your family's home and you see Thieves soap on the counter, your first thought isn't, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I sold them that Thieves soap. I can't believe I did that. Or is your first thought, what a relief that they don't have that blue dye on their counter anymore that smells like birthday cake. Right? Your first thought is their protection. It's their safety. So walk out that sale just a few steps further and you'll see the motive behind the conversation. That means the reason that you offer one oil instead of the full kit is because of fear, not because you're salesy. You got to stand above fear to reach your motive of the protection of the home. The core 4 is training we're going to do at the very end of Unstuck Bootcamp, where I teach you how to teach the 4 classes that lead to starter kits, which is Oils, Thieves, Ningxia, and Savvy. And all 4 of those scripts are in the back of Unstuck. They're also in PowerPoints that we're going to be putting up for free up on my website. So you might still feel like you're pressuring them to buy something they can't afford, but not really if you look at the numbers. The cost of the diffuser and 2 oils, just Panaway and frankincense, is nearly worth more than the value of the entire kit. It's $147 just for the diffuser and 2 oils. By the time they buy the oil separately, with the diffuser, they could have owned 12 oils, or Thieves or Ningxia or more. So you got to train your tongue never to offer retail oils and always go for a wholesale membership. And then it's going to just start rolling off your tongue effortlessly. And you'll also have the peace of mind of knowing that you saved them the most money. The starter kit is the only thing on Young Living's website that is more than half off. That oils kit, $412 value for $165, meaning they're saving $247 by buying the kit that way. That is more than the price of the entire kit. So get them the most for their money. And you'll see this little breakdown. We designed this for the inside of the book. We can put this graphic up on the website too, so you guys have this for free to use, but it tells you exactly what each of them cost. And the total value is $412.66 for $165. This is printed right inside of Unstuck. All right. Okay, last thing that I want to hit on, and then we're going to do some 101 training. I'm going to keep it moving here. So why teach a 1-to-3 ratio? Because the newbies on your team have unlimited resources to learn. So if you're using Fearless and you're habit training them to look things up, Fearless is an amazing book. It is the #1 selling aromatherapy training book in Young Living of all time, more than 4 million of those books sold. It's a phenomenal training guide. So it teaches them the why behind oiling. Right? Why? Why do they even need to use oils? Why can't they just continue using what they were using from the grocery store? It teaches them that, and then it has them go room by room so they understand how to start kicking some of the chemicals in their house out to the curb. And they know exactly what to replace it with in the Young Living virtual office. So it's a wonderful training guide. So if you're using Fearless and you're habit training them to look things up, then they have access to the internet and a reference guide. The sky is the limit for them. Get them plugged into team events, rallies, whatever Young Living is doing, our twice-a-year events, convention, anything you're doing, open your ER box online in front of them every month, give them some new ideas, point them in the direction of books and websites where they can learn, and make sure every single one of your people on your team has the core 4 classes, Oils, Thieves, Ningxia, and Savvy, and that's likely enough to create a lifetime oiler. Then you move on and you let them take the reins of their own education. Continue inviting them to events, but you let them take the reins when they've had the core 4. Run them through the aromatherapy funnel, funnel in the Diamond Rising deck and move on. If you put all of your time into people that are already on your team, you're not bringing new people in. Only commit 20% of your time to that audience, and the rest of your time find new faces. That's how you grow faster. Your new audience is going to need you more. Do I send Fearless to people that don't buy a kit? I do, Talita. I put it on their chairs when they come to 101 classes, and then I incentivize them to read it, because it's going to speak to them and say more to them than I can just in the space of the class. It's a tool that I'm funneling them to. All right. So your new audience, they don't have access to oils yet, and they don't know why they need them, but your team members are capable of standing on their own 2 feet and researching, especially after you train them how to do it. So get them started, point them in the right direction, and then let them fly. Rachel just said, what's the Diamond Rising deck? Rachel, go watch day 7 of boot camp. It's going to blow your doors off. We did a whole night of training on following up, and I'm going to break it out again when we get to the ER section. So word of caution, I'm also talking about losing time on social media, because some of us are so caught up in the time that it takes to run our business groups that we get to the end of our week and we didn't have enough energy left to teach. As a diamond, I work maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. 1 hour a week, I train my business builders on our training page. Usually twice a month, I ask my silvers and up to stand in for me so that the team is getting to see new faces and hear new stories of success every month. I'm not even committing 4 full hours a month to training my team. How am I in the cusp of Crown Diamond? I prospect for new oilers. I use Fearless and the Game Plan Mini for every attendee. It does the talking for me. Let the tools do the work. And I teach classes. I'm teaching 4 to 6 classes a month. Even in Greenville, I'm already starting to line classes up down here. And we've been here for a week and a half, right? So it's so important that you're putting your time where you're going to be growing your OGB. So now we're going to take a closer look at the style of class that built most of Young Living to what it is today. $2 billion company, 70% of that built with in-person classes according to corporate. So if all else fails, you return to class 1. We're going to end this chapter with this quote: if you're not teaching, bye-bye rank, right? That pretty much wraps it up. Bye-bye rank. Now we're jumping into Chapter 21, which is the in-person class. And I'm going to go for maybe 10 minutes on this, and then we'll pause and we'll finish up the rest of in-person classes tomorrow. But I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do when I'm doing an in-person class, and what these classes look like, what the mistakes are that you can make when you're teaching in-person classes, and how to have a really successful one. I will promise you one thing: it's pretty unimpressive. Right? If you sat through one of my one-on-one classes, you'd be like, oh, like this is Sarah Harnish's class, huh? All right, I can probably do a lot better than this myself, right? Well, the simpler you keep your classes, the more business builders you're going to attract. I could easily lay out $200 in food, like I did when I first started, and I could cook all afternoon and make my peppermint vitality brownies and all that. I could have pretty make and take stations with Cricut cutters and stickers all over the bottles, but it's not duplicatable. I can't find leaders when I do that stuff. So always ask yourself if what you're doing can be copied. You knew what I was going to say there because I've said it a couple of times, right? And if the answer is no, you're scaring away potential leaders for your team. All right, so for this class, I use a script, a starter kit, and humans. I do like to keep a cheap brand of lavender on hand to showcase purity against Young Living's oils. And I also like to use the PowerPoint on the oilabilityteam.com website. But if you're not tech savvy and putting something on a screen is really intimidating for you, don't sweat it, because many people have enjoyed really powerful 101 classes that don't have PowerPoints, all right? So let me just show you what that looks like. I'm going to flip my camera around. We haven't put these up on the website yet. They're getting their final vetting right now. But I've got 101 Oils, 102 Thieves, 103 Ningxia, and 104 Savvy. These were professionally designed. They've got media elements built into them, so there's videos and science and all sorts of stuff. But the neat thing is, do you see those words underneath each? The whole script is built right into the PowerPoint. So you literally can teach it just by sitting there and reading it right off the screen. And it perfectly follows the script. So my personal story, what are essential oils? There's all of the script right underneath. New photos of the kits and how do I use oils, essential oils history, do essential oils work, seed to seal explained in 2 minutes. A little bit about where our farms are. Check out seedtoseal.com and see the purity for yourself. Some of the pictures are photos that I took at the farms. That was Diamond Retreat last year in the Cistus farm with Cistus oil. This is frankincense a photo I took myself with at the frankincense distillery. So why can't you just buy oils at the grocery store? And then, it explains purity, authentic, manipulated, perfumed, synthetic, and the impact of spraying pesticides. And we've got the organic effect video. So to play play video, you just scroll right over it and you hit play. Bam, there it is.
Most of
built
what is
right
grown
into
today
it.
is treated with pesticides.
And so this explains why
That's
we
not
don't
so
spray our
healthy for the
stuff. All the graphics in here are all professionally designed. So we actually had a design team put these together for you. Why do some companies sell oils cheaper than others? How oils are made, a little goes a long way. A little tease of the next Core 4 class, right? Toxin-free life, essential rewards and the benefits of that. And there's more videos and stuff built into it. And are oils safe? On the flip side, and we go through each of the oils in the kit, frankincense, lavender, and all the way down to the last oil. And then, of course, the 3 cabinet challenge and fearless, so that they take it to the next level when they leave the class, and everybody gets a challenge calendar when they leave. How do I order? What now? And EO 101. So this is the professional PowerPoint. We should have it up before boot camp is over, I believe. But it's nice because, you know, if you're not sure how to use these PowerPoints, you're just going to download it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm into free tools and resources. I've told you guys before, if I could print my books and it didn't cost me for paper and ink, I'd just give them all away. Maybe I will when I'm a Royal Crown Diamond, I'll just give them all away. But it's very easy. You just have an HDMI cord, you plug it right into the side of your computer, and that plugs right into your television, and you can make this pop right up on the screen at the TV. So very, very easy to put on a TV, or teach it off of a computer, or teach it off of a tablet, and you look good. And then when you leave, they've got a challenge calendar in their hands that you printed off for free that holds them accountable for 30 days. So these are it's just a phenomenal tool. So we did it for all Core 4 classes. I'll just give you a peek at these. We won't go into them because I'm going to teach you how to teach each of these classes. But this is the Core 4 class 102 Thieves. And a lot of times I would go back into the rally material that they sent us and incorporate some of Young Living's own videos directly into the PowerPoints, because who makes videos better than Young Living, right? So in the Thieves PowerPoint, I put in the Murray family story. This is a Young Living video, and it's free. This is how you guys will be opening your class.
I'm a mom of 4 boys who happen to have the same birthday. Quadruplets, they're 9 years old, and my husband and I have been married for 12 years and live here in Brownsburg.
So it goes through the whole Thieves line with them. But that's a Thieves PowerPoint. Here's a sneak point at Ningxia, the Ningxia PowerPoint we just finished the last week or so. So intro to Ningxia class. This is a phenomenal PowerPoint with some wonderful science in it on Ningxia that's going to blow your doors off too. And then the Savvy PowerPoint. This is my favorite one. I think it's just beautiful. And I'm a tomboy, so that's a big deal. But we've got... we go through, I got permission from Melissa Pepping to put her videos directly in here, and before and after shots, and the dangers of the makeup bag challenge, why savvy, introductions, foundation, the skin test. We have some blooper reel videos in here, and you don't actually need the makeup to be able to teach the whole class. So this is just a beautiful slide deck. It looks so, so good. I love this one. I have to show you just 10 seconds of this. So anyway, it's just, you're going to look good, okay? You're going to look good in these classes. So you sit down and you just read the script. It's built right into the PowerPoint. Give them a 30-day challenge calendar. Run them through the Diamond Deck funnel, right? Bam, 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 bam. So I'm going to show you where to find these on our website. They're not up yet. But we will have them up very, very soon because we're in the final vetting process of them right now. But I'm going to show you how to teach each of these as well as we're wrapping up boot camp. I know, isn't that video amazing? So if you click on oilabilityteam.com and you go to share, you're going to see a button for Unstuck. Everything for Unstuck's on the same page, okay? So you'll find all the Unstuck things like table of contents, preview of the book, boot camp is right there, so you don't have to look for the videos. They're all in one spot right there. You don't have to scroll through Facebook. You can literally just click on them and put them right into your business builder pages. Downloadables, these are going to be all the graphics and challenge calendars and all sorts of stuff for each of the core 4 classes. I did just put up the shell for you guys, so you have something, so you can click on it, download it, and you'll just see the shell up there, which is not the full PowerPoint, but it just gives you some of the empty slides right now if you wanted something like you have a class in 2 days kind of thing. But this is where all of that content is going to be. And then for those of you considering leading Unstuck boot camps next month or the month after with your team, if you click on this, this gives you countdown graphics that you can use until you start your own boot camps, and also as you're actually running your boot camps, day 1, day 2, day 3, so that your team can keep track of it. And we'll have a whole bunch of leader stuff, write-ups, and everything that you can use for free up on that page too. I'm just sharing all of my stuff with you guys so that it's easy for you to be able to train your teams as well. So core 4 classes, super easy. You literally point and click. Like, it's super, super, super easy. So I do use the PowerPoints in my classes. If I don't have access to a TV, or if I've got maybe 5 or 6 people and it's just kind of hard for them to gather around my laptop, oh, absolutely you can edit stuff. Guys, my feelings are not hurt if you use my scripts, share my scripts, rewrite my scripts, make them your scripts, rewrite the PowerPoints, delete all my content in it, and put your own content in it. It's free. Okay, I'm giving it away. So I'm not making anything off of these. We spent 2 years developing them. We paid graphic design artists and all sorts of stuff to be able to put them together, research, the science, rewrote the scripts and all of that. It's free content for Team Young Living. So I will never charge you. My website, you don't have to pay to use it. So it doesn't hurt my feelings if you take it and you make it yours. I want you to do that. This is just meant to be a stepping stone to give you a leg up when you're trying to teach a Ningxia class and you never taught a Ningxia class before, or you're trying to teach a Savvy class and you don't even wear makeup, so you don't even know how to do it, okay? It's just free stuff for you guys to give you a leg up, because I want to see you guys at Diamond Retreat. I'm serious, all right? Yeah, Lisa Watt, obviously, if you guys live in different countries, I know your starter kits are different. Grab your starter kit image, throw it in there on top, and then teach the script, right? If there's things that you just think are unnecessary and you don't even want them in the script, my feelings are not hurt, okay? Where I will get in trouble, because we had Unstuck printed professionally, and because it's copyrighted, I had to have a deal with the publisher. If you guys take the book and you photocopy the book and you put parts of the book online, or you're giving away parts of the book, that's where I can lose our royalties for our family, and we get into a whole bunch of trouble with the publishers. But I'm not going to get into any trouble at all with the scripts. So you guys can do whatever you want with those PowerPoints and make them yours, okay? All right, so a little bit more, and then we're going to wrap up because I'm talking away. Are you still able to use a QR code to your site? I was thinking of doing that instead of a CD. I don't think I've ever set my site up for a QR code, but that's a wonderful idea. So I'll look into that and see if I can do that. Guys, there's more coming. I mean, all of those classes will also be textable. So the new videos and everything that's in them, we've already got them in the textable classes. So the Murray family video, all of that, it's all built right into the classes. So you guys will be able to text the whole class to people and they can listen to it as a podcast, which is where things are going. People love podcasts. All the graphics, the challenge calendars, all free. Will all be totally free. We're building the website as we do Unstuck Bootcamp to try to get this all out for you, okay? So back to what I was telling you about 101 classes. The simpler you keep this class, the easier it is for your leaders to duplicate it. So if you're just using the PowerPoint or just reading the script out of the book and you got the kit sitting next to you and it's that and you and humans in front of you, you're doing a great job. All right, you're doing a great job. If you're doing more than that, you might be scaring some of your potential leaders away. So script, starter kit, human. So when I say script, it's whatever way you can do it. I know we have leaders on our team. They will never be able to use a PowerPoint because they teach primarily to the Amish and Mennonites. So I've had people that have taken my PowerPoint and printed it in full color at Staples, laminated it, and hole punched it, and literally used it as a flippable card deck, and taken it into the Amish and Mennonites without the couple of videos in it, and they've shared it with them that way. So, you're going to get creative and do it whatever way you can do it to reach the audience that you need to be able to reach, all right? Do I do flip kits in 101 classes? Sometimes. I tend to save those more for vendor events, but they don't have a problem getting on and ordering it on my laptop and getting it in a week, all right? What I don't do are mini kits because I think that's wasting my kit. And then they don't buy the kit. So I do keep a cheap brand of lavender on hand, and I do use the PowerPoints. I do occasionally like to have a couple of giveaways for the class, but I never spend more than $10 on the class, never. And if I can keep it to $5, I am cheap, okay? I'm like the cheapest diamond you'll ever meet. So my favorite giveaways are a roll-on of peppermint oil, that cost me like $1, a Thieves Cleaner packet, again, just one of those packets, like $1, a Ningxia packet, that's about $3. Maybe a $1.50 Life Science mini reference guide, one of those itty bitty little tiny, not even the pocket guide, like the little ones. A sample of the Thieves Whitening toothpaste. I've been giving those away lately and people go crazy for them. Or I'll give away 2 Thieves cough drops in a little baggie. Or a little tiny travel sample of Cool Azul pain cream. I'll toss each of the giveaways in a 10-cent organza purple bag off of Amazon, and I put 5 giveaways at the front of the class, and I say, once I start the lecture, if you can be the first person to answer a question, you can pick anything on this table that grips you the most. So something that you just want to learn about off the table. And it keeps the class focused on what I'm saying, and then I don't get a lot of people clocking out on their cell phones. I also never pay to rent a room. Never, ever, 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 ever. As a matter of fact, I've taught, I don't even know now, more than 500 classes, and I have never paid for a site yet. That's how cheap I am, right? So I'll use a friend's living room, a library, a firehouse, a senior center, a VA, before I will pay. I don't pay. Simplicity keeps this type of class duplicatable. Yeah, you could do a raffle if you wanted to, Denise. I usually don't do those in my classes, but I'll do giveaways to make sure that they're focusing on what I'm saying. 100% of my classes were done for less than $10. Save the gas that I had to get there. All of them used a kit, a script, and some humans. So for the first 6 months of your business, forget that you have a paycheck and take your paycheck and put it in your gas tank to go teach classes. You need to go where you know people. All right. Jerry, I know I've run into libraries that don't allow for-profit classes, so I just bring the contact me cards with. I hand out purple bags. I still do my giveaways. They fill out the contact me cards, and I do all my prospecting when the class is over. So if you have sites that don't allow any selling on site, totally okay. Anticipate no kit sales, fill out the contact me cards from the Diamond Rising deck and touch base that night or the next day. This is a really good place to tell you that the Core 4 scripts, 101, 102, 103, 104, so Oils, Thieves, Ningxia, and Savvy, are, just going to be amazing tools to make you look good. They're not costly items, but they do make you look like a pro when you walk into a room. So another thing that I do before the class starts, I make sure I got my site secured, I make sure I got my PowerPoint ready to go, is I carry with me what I call a class in a bag, a 101 class in a bag. So some people like to call this their portable office. It's everything that you need to teach in one simple place. So the only thing that's not in here is my laptop and maybe an HDMI cord to plug my laptop into a TV. But outside of that, this is everything else. And I just leave it packed all the time, and then I restock it after each class so that I'm always ready to teach. And this is what we're going to end on tonight, and I'll continue with class 1 tomorrow night, all right? Let me just flip this around and show you what it looks like. So my class in a bag, this is my portable office checklist. I have a couple of giveaways in the bag ready to go. So I told you, peppermint roll-on, Thieves cleaner packet, a cap full of Thieves in a plastic spray bottle like for $1, a mini reference guide, an Ningxia packet, Cool Azul, a sample, Thieves whitening toothpaste, Thieves cough drop sample, any of that. I have purple bags for each member of the class. Contact me cards are ready to go with a clipboard and a pen. I have 30-day challenge calendar printable. So if I'm doing a Savvy class, I have the 30-day Savvy printable ready to go. If I'm doing a Ningxia class, I have the 30-day Ningxia printable ready to go because I want them to fill it out so that they can get discounts on their Essential Rewards through me. I have my starter kit with a diffuser, 12 bottles of oil, my Thieves cleaning packet, hand sanitizer, Ningxia packets, EO magazine, and starter kit literature. I've got my Life Science Pocket Reference Guide for every single person that gets a kit. I have that cheap lavender oil so I can pair it to Young Living's lavender. And then the laptop with the PowerPoints on it. My script, I usually bring the game plan book or Unstuck or Ignite, and I read directly from the book to show leaders how easy it is to share. So my leaders, even now, walk in and see me walk in with Unstuck in my hands, and I just flip it to the back and just start reading. I have a cheap tablecloth to lay over a table to display everything, usually $1 at the dollar store. I have all the Essential Rewards promotions for that month to show off what they get for free if they place an order over 190 PV. So you're a lot more likely to be successful and to successfully promote it if they can see the items and pass them around and smell them and you talk about what they do. And then as you rank up, you can also pack a couple of tablets and a hotspot or $100 laptop so there's more than one station for people to sign up after class. So I make sure I've got my class in a bag packed, a couple of giveaways ready to go, very simple things, that my PowerPoint's ready to go. I got my script with me, cheap lavenders ready to go, contact me cards ready to go. Then I put some speaking oils in the front front pocket of my bag to bring with me. So what are speaking oils? They're just oils that help me on my game, right? What type of bag do I put it all in? I don't really think it matters. I think whatever you've got. If you're not bringing in a hefty income right now, go grab your kid's school backpack and throw it in there, right? So what speaking oils do I use? You can use any combo or any oil that really, really speaks to you. These are ones that I found that help me to focus on the script and get over myself and focus on the crowd and avoid rabbit trails and have fun in the process. So I put them on my feet, especially on my big toes, because that's where the nerve endings come out from my brain. And I put them on my brain stem, so the back of my neck. And I generally just slather it all over my hands and arms for good measure. It helps me to act as a human diffuser to myself. And I use at least 50 drops of oil, sometimes more on class days. So these are my favorite speaking oils, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Kid Sense Genius is like amazing for speaking. Northern Lights Black Spruce, I don't think I've ever stood on a stage without that all over my body. Cedar Wood, I love Cedar Wood. It's a wonderful brain oil. Valor, that's my courage oil. Brain Power is wonderful for staying focused. Frankincense is a focus oil. Believe is to get you to stop thinking about the size of the room and focus on the size of your paycheck, right? And where this is going to go. Abundance oil, I got some crazy stories I could tell you about that one. Gathering, if you don't like people. Grounding for introverts. Those are some of my favorite oils. So get those oils on your body, and then I'll show you tomorrow how I set up my room and get out there and start teaching that script. But you guys know the end of the story, right? You grab the book, you read the words, you share your story, you sniff the oils, you sign them up. That's the nitty-gritty of the 101 class. But we'll go over it in full length tomorrow night for day 9 of Unstuck Boot Camp. So your homework for tonight is to read both of those chapters. We were deep into chapter, let me go back here, I believe it was 20 and 21. We're in chapter 20 and 21, so I want you to read chapter 20 and read chapter 21. Make your pie chart, fill it out in your Unstuck workbook. This is going to tailor the training directly to you. Go sniff them in time so you can stay focused. If the thought of teaching a 101 class scares the tar out of you, get gathering on your body and just know that you can do this. I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions in this class, so I'm going to try to go back and type in some answers. One of these videos has over 2,500 comments on it, so it's hard to keep up sometimes with all the comments, but I'll try to catch some of them. And you guys are doing great. So thank you for getting on with me tonight. We're going to finish the second half of this class tomorrow night. So come back again, same bat time, same bat channel. I just don't want to keep you so long. But I hope the training's been really valuable tonight on staying focused on things that actually grow your business, not rabbit trailing, right? And not making it so complicated that other people can't copy what you're doing, and getting over your fear, right? You end the no-show classes by building the relationship, and those PowerPoints are a come-in. We're getting so close to releasing them, but they'll all be free up on my website here in the coming weeks. Oh, one more thing. I almost forgot to show you guys this. I'm super excited. We'll end with this because this is super, super cool. So right before I went on tonight, like right before I went live, literally 30 seconds beforehand, I got this from my graphic design team. Check this out. Oh, that means that we can officially upload all of the audio files to Audible tomorrow. So this is the Unstuck audiobook, How to Talk to Humans and Get Them to Respond to You. If this book in its 480 pages has scared the tar out of you, then hopefully this is going to save your tush when it comes to getting through boot camp. So I'm super, super excited. I will let you guys know when they accept it. It usually takes about 2 weeks once we upload it for them to accept it. Pray that they take it the first time and they don't send it back with a whole bunch of corrections. I know, Becky, I'm super excited too. So the audiobook has taken me 4 months to record. It's been so much work, but we're almost there. We're very, very close. So you guys have an amazing night. Thank you for hanging out with me. Pop back on tomorrow, same bat time, 8:30 Eastern, and we'll tackle day 9. You're almost halfway through boot camp. And you are doing amazing. You're doing an amazing job. I'm going to keep throwing tools at you, and we're going to do this thing called Diamond together and get you up on that stage and out to Diamond Retreats because you are a Diamond Rising. Don't forget who you are. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.